Hello everybody, it's Vicki with Ballinger Farm. I thought it'd be fun to do a quick video on choosing eggs, or I should say hatching eggs and breeding chickens for egg color. So I'm getting ready to do a pretty large hatch using our Farm Innovators incubator, which holds 50 eggs. We're going to do I think 36. And so I just want to kind of go over with you how I choose the eggs to hatch and kind of what my expectations are. So over here in the far right column, the ones that are marked with an S, these are actually silky eggs. I've been collecting these since the 13th. Silkies generally only lay about 3 to 4 eggs a week, if that. And so I've been collecting just 12, 13, 14, 15 eggs for about a week now, a little over a week. And then I'm going to also hatch some eggs for color. We sell rainbow eggs, and so I kind of want to explain a little bit about how we hatch for egg color. So the first thing is our laying flock is completely separated from our show chickens, and with the laying flock, currently we have about 40 hens. 10 of those are young pullets who have not started laying yet, so we have about 30 hens that are actually laying, and we have 2 black copper Moran cocks that are covering that flock, and we only have the black copper Moran. So I know that the genetics going into the hens are only from a dark brown egg layer. So for example, we have 1 black copper Moran hen from last year. She's currently the only one we're getting eggs from, so I'm going to go ahead and hatch some of her eggs. But these, all 6 of these are from her. She pretty much gives us 6 to 7 eggs a week. So all of these eggs are a week or less old. And these eggs are going to fall between a 4 and a 5 on the color scale, which is the black copper Moran color scale. I think it goes up to an 8 or a 9. So she's got some pretty nice eggs. And just to show you a comparison, this is a regular brown egg from the store, so you can see that the black copper Moran is quite a bit darker. So the 2 roosters that we're using come from show stock. Now I'm not really concerned about show quality birds in our egg flock. I just happen to get some nice stock from a farm in Kentucky. But these roosters come from a flock that are laying between a 5 to a 7 on the coloring scale. So these, sorry about that interruption. So these roosters should darken any pullets that hatch from these eggs. The roosters should darken these eggs up. So I'm hoping that these eggs, being a 4 or a 5, should produce offspring that, you know, might darken up to a 6 or a 7, which would be awesome. And then, so we also have 4 olive eggers in our current flock, and they lay the prettiest eggs. So it's probably kind of hard to tell, but these are a light green egg, a light olive egg known as an F1. And F1 just means this is a first generation olive egger. So an olive egger, quite literally, is a brown egg layer crossed with a blue egg layer. It truly is as simple as that. So our olive eggers lay these beautiful eggs with brown spots. And so I'm going to cross, so I know that if I put an F1 olive egg in the incubator, it's going to produce an F2 olive egger, because I'm basically crossing an olive egger back with a dark brown egg layer, which in turn will make a darker green egg or an F2 egg. So we also have some Americanas in our flock, and these are first generation Americanas. These aren't a super bright blue egg, but the camera is not doing them justice really. So I'm gonna cross this Americana blue egg with a black copper Moran rooster, which should produce an F1 olive egger. Now, the chicks that are going to hatch from these eggs will probably, not guaranteed, but will probably look like a regular black copper Moran that will lay olive eggs. That's kind of how it works with hatching eggs for color. So I've basically collected 6 black copper Moran eggs, and these guys should be full-blooded black copper Morans. And then I have approximately 8 olive eggs, which should produce F2 olive eggers. And then I've got probably half a dozen blue eggs in here, which should produce F1 olive eggers. So I'm pretty excited. I'm getting the incubator ready now. I just sanitized it. I'm going to let it run for a full 24 hours to make sure the temperature and humidity are constant. And then I will go ahead and put these eggs in the incubator, and we should have babies in about 3 weeks. So these silky eggs over here are from my show stock. Pretty excited to see how these babies turned out. And then I'm super excited to see how these colored egg layers turn out. I'm hatching now because generally it takes 16 to 20 weeks for hens to start laying. And so if I hatch these chicks out now, we'll get babies around the end of October. And so by late February to March, we should know what color eggs these crosses will produce. And then at that time I can advertise, hey, these are this produces a solid F2 olive egger or a solid F1 olive egger, or these copper Maran mixes are going to produce a 6 to a 7 on the Maran scale. So I'll be able to say that confidently by March of next year, which is why we're hatching babies in the fall. So I hope you've enjoyed this informative video, and we will be back when I set the incubator to talk more.